Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. I'm your host, Hailey Rowe, and I help you get clients consistently, market your standout offers, build your business foundations like your messaging, your niche, your offer, and I help you build a sustainable, profitable coaching business that works with your schedule. And I'm so excited to dive into the show. Here we go. Guess what? I'm so excited to announce that my free private training sharing how to book paying clients consistently without posting more or needing a big audience is now live for an encore. You can check it out at haileyrowe.com/training. You get to learn more about the inner circle. You get to learn the behind the scenes of what I share with my clients and learn how you can get your next clients without needing to obsess with stressful launches, annoying tech, all that kind of stuff. So check it out and can't wait to hear how it goes for you.
Hello, today we have a special guest joining and her name is Richae, if I'm saying that correctly. And we're going to talk a little bit about your business and energy alignment, spiritual alignment. So what I mean by that is if you have a coaching business and maybe you want to feel authentic in your business, maybe you have fear of like sales or fear of coming across a certain way that doesn't feel aligned with you. We're going to be going through your questions about that kind of thing and going to be talking to Kay about her business journey. And she works as a spiritual alignment coach and I work as a business coach. And so we're kind of combining forces here to answer your questions about those topics. So let's get started. Feel free to put questions and comments, and I'm going to bring her on to join us. Here she comes. Very exciting. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi, Hailey.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Welcome.
Welcome. Super happy to be joining you today, talking about my favorite topics in the world to my favorite audience in the world, because I firmly believe that powerful women in business definitely need to be in touch with their highest spiritual guidance so that they can make the biggest impact on the world possible.
Yes, 100%. So I'm super excited to dive into this topic, and I told our live listeners they can put questions in the comments if they want. But what I'd love to start with is just, I work with a lot of coaches who feel like if, they're starting a business, they have to be salesy or they have to, do things they're not going to like to do. And they're feeling sometimes that behind their action, they're feeling like this doubt, or either like, I'm not good enough to talk about my services, or I don't want to come across a certain way. So when somebody's getting in their head about those kinds of thoughts, how do you help them, or what would you say to help them get spiritually aligned and more back to, their purpose and that kind of thing?
I love that question, Hailey. It is such a powerful question. And what I always tell the women in my programs is, number one, most of us are aware that we need to have a great meditation practice. And that is very important. But what a lot of us don't understand is that the meditation practice is not just about calming our thoughts and calming our mind. It is also really about listening and tuning in to frequencies that serve our best and highest good. And so especially for coaches, it's very important that in your spiritual practice time, you take the time to really tune into the energy of your highest purpose-driven vision for yourself. Really, what is the impact that you even got into this business to make? What drove you to do that? Because at the heart of all of that is the love of the universe seeking to express itself through you uniquely as it has never been done before. And when you really tune into the energy of what that looks like and what that feels like, you understand that the gifts that you came here to share, the people you came here to help, the services you came here to render, they're not going to be rendered to the audience that literally the universe manifested you to be able able to serve those people. And so when you really tune into the energy of that, it really knocks all the perfectionism out of the way. It knocks all of the imposter syndrome out of the way, because you realize that this is so much more than you just getting some things right. This is you living and fulfilling a purpose and a calling that the universe is seeking to deliver to humanity through you. And so when you really tune into that in your meditation time, in your spiritual practice time, feeling into the vision of what that vision fulfilled looks like, that is where I say to always start. Because once you begin to tune into the frequency of that, you can then begin to go deeper in your spiritual practice and in aligning your energy with the elements, which can then support you in getting your work done. And you said something, Hailey, and I really want to touch on. You said they feel like they have to do things they don't want to do. And the truth is, sometimes on our journey to our best and highest self, we do have to do things that we don't want to do. But the thing is what version of ourselves doesn't want to do it? Is it the versions of ourselves that we're leaving behind and that we're evolving beyond? Is it the version of ourselves that is probably not yet as evolved as who it is that we're becoming? Is that the version that doesn't want to do it? Because I guarantee you, if you tune into the energy of the best and highest vision for your business, the woman, the queen, the goddess who is running that business and serving the world at a high level, she probably loves to have her business functioning with flow and with ease. And so she probably is very comfortable getting uncomfortable, doing what it takes to get there.
I love that. That's a very good point. Like, which part of you is not wanting to do this? Is it your self wants to stay comfortable and in a bubble and hide, or is it your future self who wants to expand? So tell me a little bit, what actually is spiritual alignment, or, you know, energy alignment? Like, tell me what you mean by that.
What I mean by spiritual alignment and energy alignment is when what you feel, think, be, do is aligned with your purpose and your deepest and highest calling, your highest vision for yourself. You know, really and truly, the most of us would say the life of our dreams. When we are living in alignment with that vision, is when we're in alignment with that, is when we feel, speak, think, and do the things that are in alignment with the highest version of ourselves. That's what I mean by alignment. And when I say spiritual alignment, I mean starting with all of that process, beginning with the question, what is the universe's best and highest vision for my life? That's very important, because so many times I hear people speaking about manifestation, and people will say, well, get clear on what it is that you want. What do you want? Well, that's fine, but you have to understand that what we want sometimes is a lot of times impacted by what our parents wanted, by what we think society wants, by a version of ourselves that may not be in alignment with truly the expansiveness of our soul. But when we start with the question, what is the universe's best and highest vision for my life? Now we have some things that we can, some frequencies and energies that we can play with, that we can feel into, that we can tune into. We can listen in our meditation time, and we can see those visions of ourselves. I'm sure that you've done visualization, Hailey, around what the best and highest version of your business looks like. And you have a vision and a mission and a plan on what that looks like, on who you're serving and what it feels like. Well, the thing is that, yes, those are Hailey's visions, but the truth is those are the universe's visions expressing themselves through and as Hailey. And that, when we really get into the habit of tuning into the frequency of what that feels like, that's when we're living a spiritual path, and we're living in alignment, and we can, you know, increase the synchronicities on our journey, and we can really feel like our journey is more magical, instead of feeling like we are, you know, trying to do this drudgery of making something happen because we want to be successful. It's really an entirely different different flow. It's more about allowing that which is eternal to do something through us at this point in time, because we're stepping into that.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. So inspired. So tell me a little bit about, you said there's a difference between what you think you want because of society and all these things, and what is actually your purpose that is coming from the universe, God, you know, whatever
Yes.
your belief is.
Yes.
So tell me, how does somebody know the difference? How does somebody define what is my mission and purpose to be here?
And let me just say, when I say there's a difference between those two, I don't necessarily mean there's a difference between those two.
Okay.
Because the truth is, what you want, that is what is for you. We are one with all that is. We are one with nature. We are one with the elements. We are, there's a spiritual power backing everything that we see. Like, I'm seeing Hailey's beautiful face, but I don't see her essence, the spirit, the soul that she is. The spirit and the soul that you are is what is expressing through this beautiful body and face that I'm looking at. It's the same thing with everything in our universe. And that's why I talk so much about leaning into the spiritual power of the elements. Because these are the creative forces that the love of the universe is administered through. And when we expand our awareness, especially when we're seeking to manifest things, to understand the powers that are working on behalf of our best and highest good, we can hear what is truly for us from that which is eternal a lot better. So we're already hearing it. We're already being moved by it. We already feel our callings. We already feel our purpose is pulling us. We already feel that desire to help people. We already feel that desire to serve. We already feel that desire to help others achieve their goals, right? So we already know. What I'm saying is that but a lot of times on the journey of us expressing that in its fullness, a lot of times the things that society has taught us get in the way. A lot of times maybe the perfectionism that our parents have imprinted us with can get in the way. A lot of times the traumas that we've experienced in the past that make us feel afraid to break out of our shells, especially as women, because for women, we have to understand that we're living in a very powerful time to be a woman. In generations past, when some women stepped into their full power, they were considered scary. They were considered a threat to society. So as women, we have that in our cellular DNA. And a lot of times that's what's making us want to hide, and we're not aware of it. And so, but that's why I always talk about bringing the elements into our spiritual practice, because this is where we can access the energy to clear those past paradigms that may be functioning in our bodies and in our energy field. And when we do that, it's so magical. Life is so magical, because when we do that, we then find that all of my clients then say, wow, I'm able to show up. Wow, I'm speaking more confidently. Wow, I used to have a problem expressing myself in this way. Wow, I used to have a problem asking for what I'm worth in my sales. Wow, but now I'm really comfortable with this energy exchange. It's just a very powerful practice when we really lean into the creative forces at play through nature and through the elements. When we bring that into our awareness and we begin to work with these frequencies and these energies to balance our own energy, we can hear more clearly, and then we can show up more powerfully.
I love it. Yes. Well, so let's talk about these elements that open us up to receiving what our is and all of that, and also open us up in our businesses to work with nature, with everything instead of against. So tell me what these elements are.
So the elements of our existence are the energy systems, really, of fire, water, earth, and air. What we depend on the elements of fire, water, earth, and air for our life. Like, I am a specialist in African mysticism, which is based on aligning energy with the spiritual power of nature. I'm very passionate about sharing more of how we get to use these powers and energies in our spiritual practices, because of the fact that, a lot of times we think that on our spiritual path, that it's really always about us, sharing light and love, that I'm going to share light and love. I'm going to give myself a light bath before I write this copy for my sales page. I'm going to do this, right? And that's powerful and it's beautiful. But everything in the universe is created by dualing energies: mother, father, night, day, positive, neutral. And the elements, feminine, masculine. And the truth is, it's really amuletic energy and talismanic energy. A lot of times people have heard of amulets and talismans, and they don't really know what those things mean. But it's really about building energy and clearing energy. Everything in the universe is created by building energy and clearing energy. When we are sharing light and love and in that nurturing, building energy, that is a beautiful thing. But a lot of times we don't know also how to clear energy. And the elements teach us how to do that. Water and earth are feminine elements, which are building energy. Fire and air are clearing elements, which are clearing energy. And when we don't know how to properly clear things from our energy field in a way that aligns those things with our best and highest good, we end up with, doing a lot of spiritual bypassing, right? So we end up having negative feelings that we end up ignoring, and we want to push them down. And we feel the fear, we feel the trepidation, we feel the tendency to hide, we feel afraid to use our voice, and we never dig deep to say, well, why is that? And what can I do about that? And how can I heal that so that I'm not now fighting against this force to try to get me to do what my coach is telling me to do, where now I no longer feel that tendency. And now whatever was there blocking me has now been aligned and directed and given a whole assignment for my best and highest good. And so I talk about the elements because the elements, for example, using candles in our spiritual works, using libations. I'm here at my prayer table. I use libations. I charge water and I pour it on the ground with my intentions. I use candles in my spiritual practice. Well, a lot of times we're familiar with these things, but we don't really know what it is that we're leaning into when we're doing these things. I've seen, my good friend Gabby Bernstein, she has people on her manifestation challenge. She has people write down things and then bury them in the earth. These are ways that we're using these energies. I'm just inviting us to expand our awareness of them more so that we can use them more consciously, more intentionally for what it is that we're dealing with personally when we are facing things in our businesses.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things I heard is that there's like the opposites. There's contrast on purpose in our life so that we can recognize the good and, realize that they go together and it's not one of them, not, all positive all the time. And so I'm going to talk about what are some common mistakes? You mentioned spiritual bypassing, like pretending it's fine and pushing it down. But what are some mistakes that we do when it comes to spiritual alignment or in our business and feelings and processing and all that kind of stuff?
Well, one thing that we do is we limit what we can see for our clients based on what it is that we're dealing with or what it is that we may have already, been dealing with in the past. I've seen this. So, and I've seen this, and I've had a number of clients tell me about this in their experiences with other coaches. And so what I mean by that is, for example, we may say, I really want to help these people. I really want to help this audience, but I don't want to charge this because they may not be able to afford it. Well, how do you know that? And why are you making that projection if the universe is truly seeking to do something through you and to get something from you and deliver it as good to another person that's going to change their life? Why would that limiting thought come up and say, well, this is what I really need to charge to be able to live comfortably and function my business, but my audience, well, they may not be able to afford it, so I don't want to do that. That's one way that we can limit ourselves. Or even after we have the clients, I've also seen this many times. After we have the clients, I've literally had a number of my own clients tell me this, that they have shared a vision for themselves with their coach, and the coach didn't have the belief to be able to hold the space for that for them because of their own experience. That's a really big one. We don't want to limit what can happen. We don't want to limit what the good the universe can do through our clients and for them based on our own past experiences. That is a big mistake, and I've heard a lot about it. But when we heal these things within ourselves, we get ourselves out of the way, we balance our own energy, and we're able to say, I am an opening. When I'm working with my clients, it's not about me. I am an opening for good to be able to share it with them that supports them on their unique journey. So if their path is for them to make, $300,000 more in their business this year, and it took me 3 years to achieve that goal, I'm not limited in being able to support them in that, because they came to me for a reason, and what I have to share is powerful. So I'm going to let the gift that I've been given support them in that goal, and I'm not going to limit them or myself based on my own limiting beliefs. So that's one of the ways that we can limit ourselves in our businesses when we haven't done that work of what's underneath.
Gotcha. Yeah, totally. I think that part of our job as coaches is to hold space for our clients and not make assumptions, or not be like, well, it took me this long, so it's going to take you this long. I'm a huge fan of the Bruce Lee quote, take what's useful, discard what's not, and make whatever else your own. And so when I do a coaching program or when I work with a coach, I go in knowing, every single thing is not going to resonate with me or be amazing or whatever, but I'm going to take what does resonate. I'm going to, make it my own. I'm going to have my own intentions, etc. And I don't, it's a little different than what you were saying, but I think our job as a coach on the other side, you're right, is not to put limitations on others just because of our own stuff, and to come clean to our coaching sessions energetically and ready to listen and ready to guide and not push, So I think you make some really good points there. So tell us, is there anything else you'd say to coaches who are maybe new, maybe getting impatient in their business, maybe want to manifest all the things in life? What would you say to them?
I would say that keep in mind that manifesting is about becoming. And becoming is a natural part of who and what we are. When you have a rose seed, if you plant it in the soil, you water it, and it's in the right environment, it's going to bloom into a rose bush. If you take an acorn and you put it into the soil, and it's going to grow into an oak tree if the right environment is there. That is natural. That is a natural part of its becoming. And so what I would say to new coaches is that understand that everything within you that you're seeking to manifest has a natural gestation period. And so you don't want to be
I lost your sound.
Oh, can you hear me now?
You're back. Okay, yes,
you don't want to become impatient. You don't want to become impatient in that natural gestation period. When you said yes to your journey, you said yes to a natural unfolding within you. there is a certain time, there is a certain path. Everything can be going perfectly fine, and you can actually be on the fast track to success even when you don't see any evidence of moving forward. So just know that there is a natural unfolding, that as long as you stay aligned and consistently moving forward in your inspired action, consistently investing in yourself with people like Hailey, getting those details that you need to help you move forward, know that everything is unfolding perfectly because you're not doing this on your own. The entire universe is conspiring for your best and highest good, because what you have is very powerful and your clients need it. So just stay with it, keep growing, keep moving forward, and everything is going to be beautiful.
I love it. Very good. Words of wisdom. So where can everybody connect with you and get to know you better?
Sure, absolutely. Obviously on my page, Richae, and then I have a free gift at my link in bio, which is a free guide to helping someone get started with incorporating the elements into their spiritual practice so that they can download their highest guidance more consistently. I highly recommend any and everyone get that free guide, and then you'll be on my email list and you'll be able to keep abreast of everything I have going on. I have a free book club that's starting on the 28th. We're going to be reading an awesome book that I recommend for all coaches, really. It's called Happy Days, The Guided Path from Trauma to Profound Freedom and Inner Peace. Is my friend Gabby Bernstein's latest book. We're going to talk about how the elements support us in freeing ourselves from trauma, and let the book be our guide. So I highly recommend that. But yeah, other than that, the free gift in my bio is a great way to stay connected.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming today and sharing all of the good things that you brought here. And can't wait to keep in touch.
Yay. Thank you, Hailey. This was great. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.